So it says the General Assembly of the Hierarchy, aka the Centennial Conclave, which is a strange word to use because it's very Catholic, of the Hierarchy or Shambhala 2025. This conclave is a significant event in the esoteric tradition, marking a time for the hierarchy to review and update the plan for humanity. So, Andrew, boy, I hope their plan involves us and it's good for us because I didn't get any invitation to the meeting. Did you?
No, I didn't, and in fact, it's a sort of the same thing you get on the other side with the Teal interview, is that you get the sense that there's people out there that are trying to bring about this thing to save everybody else, but they're not really taking our temperature on any of these positions that they're gonna hold or where they wanna take us. It is very much a tyrannical system, a system which you and I didn't make a choice in, but that they're trying to lead the world in.
Exactly. The next conclave is expected to occur in 2025. It's happening right now as we record this, and it is believed to be a pivotal moment for humanity's spiritual evolution. The year 2025 represents a pivotal moment in spiritual evolution according to esoteric teachings, marking the convergence of three major planetary centers. Now, when we look at the scriptures, God blesses or curses those who worship the sun and the stars and the moon.
That's a curse.
It's a curse. It's a curse. So, should we be looking to the major planetary centers and alignments into Aquarius and Gemini and all of these things? Or does God condemn such behaviors?
I ran into a number of people that were very seriously into astrology in Hollywood, with personal astrologers and charts that are just like, dozens and dozens of pages deep, just going into so much detail. It's unbelievable. It's a downward spiral that it's really hard to get out of.
And it's a practice that's been going on since basically the beginning. I mean, God has been warning about this system of worshiping the creation rather than the creator. And that's basically what all this looks like. You're worshiping creation and ignoring the one who actually made it.
And Matt, when you covered the astrology of just this new age movement, I wanted to ask you, has the Catholic Church ever been involved in things like astrology or studying the stars? Is there any connection there? Do we see any connection with maybe the false prophet? I know there was that big whole eclipse thing that happened a while back. It's interesting how a lot of this is tying together. What are your thoughts on
No
that?
doubt. I mean, what the Vatican out in front, St. Peter's Court, that's the largest solar wheel on planet Earth. They are the typification of the system that worships the sun, moon, and stars.
Mm.
The in the Eucharist, adoring the sickle moon and the sun, the solar disk. It's a profane system that is absolutely every bit of what God was warning against when He was talking about worshiping the sun and the moon and the stars, and it's baked in to every aspect of the Catholic system. And since we know she's the mother, the daughters are absolutely going to have some of that DNA baked into them, which ultimately goes back to the day of worship mattering,
Mm.
the day of the sun
Yep.
versus the holy day of God. And that's where that mixture of paganism matters because it bleeds from the mother to the daughters, and they're none the wiser. Like they're going thinking it's a holy day, and it's not. And it's not up to us to decide. Like Matt and Andrew and Kenneth can go in the grave, and the truth that the Saturday Sunday issue is going to be the core issue will still remain, and other people will take it up. So I think it's really important, as the question that you posed is seeing that the system that God had warned about with the sun and the moon and the stars is typified in this mystery Babylon system, because it's not only asking you to worship the creation, but it's actually almost standing in the place of the creator to be worshiped as the human element of that worship system. So, yeah, it is prevalent in both the mother and the daughters. So, Shambhala and hierarchy and humanity in what is anticipated to be a monumentous centennial conclave. This gathering occurring every 100 years since 1425. That's pretty good run when you think about, like, usually only Catholic organizations have runs like that go back to kind of these dates, knighthoods,
Mhm.
Templars, orders like that. But I don't know if even in researching, I even realized they had this meeting every 100 years since 1425. It just really dawned on me, like, these people, they don't work in days, months, and weeks, and not even years. They are literally working in decades and centuries. And the Catholic Church talks about that too.
Same thing. Yeah.
So, since 1425 is expected to determine crucial decisions, this is important, crucial decisions regarding humanity's evolutionary trajectory, the externalization of the spiritual hierarchy, and the implementation of the divine plan for planetary transformation. The significance of this particular conclave extends beyond previous gatherings. This is important. At the beginning of the article, it said this is the final conclave. I really want that to dawn in people's minds. They've been holding this meeting since 1425. And for some reason, this one is the last one on the books.
Revelation chapter 12 says the devil came down with great wrath because he knows he has a short time. The devil knows that there's a limited time on this thing, and not to get into any sort of date setting or time setting or anything like that, but we know that this history is going to be roughly around 6,000 years old. I'm not going to say any more than that. The time's short. This is a limited thing. It's not going to go on forever, and they know it. And this helps make the point.
Exactly. They also know the story has an end. Peter Thiel talked about delaying it in whatever capacity to find this third, as he said, narrow way, which means a way that is not prescribed in God's word. And now you have this group holding meetings for better part of 600 years. And they have said that this is the last one that they're going to have. There is no 21-25 conclave set. I don't think they
Yeah.
have any intention on seeing a world that is like this world. In their view, by that 21-25 mark, this externalization has turned into a one world system where everybody's worshiping as one. And we'll see how that ends. In fact, the Bible tells us how that ends. I just think it's so crazy how closely connected all this is to the biblical narrative. It's just speaking from the other side of the coin.
It's probably worth mentioning too, Alice Bailey is a co-Freemason, right?
Yep,
So the Freemasonry dates the age of the earth around the same as the Bible record.
it does. And it talks about Foster Bailey here coming up too and his rank in the Freemasons.